final episode of the Shaker Library Murder Mystery. The votes are in, and we have heard your suspicions. It seems the breakdown of guilt is as follows.
We'll soon see if that's correct, because we finally have the final 2 pieces of evidence that will point us in the right direction.
To give everyone a sigh of relief, we indeed did solve the murder. And the person we suspect is someone we have spoken to over these past few weeks.
Yes, they were clever. They were a clever one, but not nearly clever enough. They could have gotten away with it if only Olivia's body wasn't found so soon. They could have scampered right out of town and been off in the wind, long gone. But no, they made a miscalculation, one that cost them everything.
Well, would you like to fess up? Or should I explain your wickedness to everyone? Okay then, I guess I will just explain your crimes to the whole lot of them. Shall we, Parker?
Let's do it, Winter.
Now that we know the whodunit.
Here's the howdunit.
It was me.
What?
It was me. I did it. I hit her over the head. I can't believe I could do something so awful.
You hit her over the head with Mary's Employee of the Month frame?
When?
Well, after I got the coffee and I gave Mariah hers, I went to go find Mary, but she wasn't in the children's room, so I went to check the back office, but no one was there either.
But why did you hit Olivia?
Well, I didn't think it was Olivia walking through the door of the workroom. I thought it was someone else.
Me?
Yes, you. I went in there and saw my picture book list crumpled on the floor, all just smashed and rejected, and I just lost it. And I saw your Employee of the Month frame, and I was just so angry, and so I heard footsteps, and I don't know what just came over me, but you never let me choose the books or do anything with the story times.
Lead story time? You are literally the star of the show. All the kids love your puppets. I thought you could at least leave me the choice of the story we do.
You think I'm the star of the show?
Of course you are. The kids always get so excited when you hop on with your entourage of puppets.
I didn't realize.
Well, this is certainly a turn of events, but ma'am, we'll have to deal with you in just a moment, because you are not the killer.
I'm not?
No, you're not. We've got Olivia's autopsy report back, and the method of her demise was poison. Most likely mixed in with the coffee just consumed prior to her death.
Poison? Who could have done that?
We are just about to go there.
So now that we know the method, who was the madness?
Let's go over what we know, including the information Francine gave us.
As we know from several sources, Olivia and Mary were working together on program bags. We've learned that during that time, Mary and Olivia fought about Francine. Olivia was pleading with Mary to give Francine's ideas a chance. Out of spite, Mary rejects Olivia's position, crumples up Francine's book list, and tosses it to the floor, all of which Mariah overhears.
Soon after, Francine comes back to ask about coffee. While she's there, she sees her carefully selected book list that she gave Mary crumpled on the floor. She leaves to get coffee in a rage.
During that time, Mariah comes up to check on the two who were fighting, but they're both gone. Mary to the youth services desk, and Olivia out to her car for a jacket. She sees the picture book list and the paper scraps from what appears to be the grab-and-go bags. She leaves the room.
Francine returns to the library and delivers the coffee to Mariah. She goes to confront Mary, but she is not in the children's room. She goes to the back office and doesn't see her, but again sees her list on the floor. She notices the Employee of the Month frame seething.
Francine hears footsteps, and when the door opens, she grabs the frame and bashes the person on the head.
Francine is shocked at her actions, especially when she realizes it's not even Mary and that she instead hit Olivia. She panics and starts apologizing and coming up with excuses. As she walks out the door in a hurry, she stashes the frame in a bookshelf.
Olivia goes out to the staff room to get ice for her head. On the way back, she bumps into Miles, and they speak for a bit, and then she returns to the back room.
After this encounter, Miles enters the room a few minutes later to find Olivia on the floor dead. The room has torn paper and scissors, a manuscript filled with red lines and a small note, the crumpled picture book list, and a spilled cup of coffee.
Miles calls 911 and the police arrive on the scene.
Sometime in between Olivia going to get a bag of ice and returning, a coffee appeared with her name on it. Who put it there? Where was everyone during this time frame? Supposedly, Francine and Mary in the children's room. Mariah was just finishing her class. And Miles, well, Miles was just lost, somewhere in the building.
If it was not Francine, who killed Olivia Hall?
After all our sleuthing, we finally have the last key piece to solving the murder. The security footage from the camera that sits in the hallway outside the back office.
Let's watch.
I can explain that.
How so?
Well, it's as I told you, remember? I went back there to check on them in the noise.
With a coffee.
Yes, the one Francine got me. She even told you.
But when you go to leave the room, you don't have the cup anymore. We've checked the whole room, but there was only one.
Come clean, Mariah. Everyone here knows that it was you. You hated working with Olivia, didn't you?
After spending so many years working on the same book, rewriting chapter after chapter, it finally got to you.
No, you're mistaken. I loved Olivia.
Maybe, but that didn't stop you from ending her.
You knew this was your last chance to try and stop her. She's going to be gone for 2 weeks after tonight, and you would have had to wait even longer to get what you wanted.
And you were tired of waiting, weren't you, Mariah?
You saw your final chance to deal with her and pin it on someone else. You etched her name on that cup and added the poison, condemning her to death.
Admit it, Mariah. Over time, that friendship turned sour, and you had enough of her.
Well, of course it did. She was the worst. She couldn't focus on our project. She was always having to go from one idea to the next. She knew how important this book was for me, but she just didn't care. Well, I went and finished the book in secret. I even have somebody ready to publish it. But I couldn't let her find out and stop it from going forward. So I couldn't let her do it, and I wouldn't let her do it.
Oh! You tried to pin it on poor Francine.
Almost too perfect. I brought the poison with me, but how to get it to her without her noticing? Well, coffee. Francine gave me the perfect in, of course. And I didn't even have to be the one to get it to her. When she refused to get any, I had to get a little creative, but Francine kept making more and more mistakes throughout the night, and I used that to my advantage.
How could you?
How couldn't I? You made it almost too easy. And how you all can stand working with her on a daily basis, I'll never understand.
Well, there you have it.
Take her away, Parker, before she tries anything else.
At least my work will finally be known.
What did you guys even write about?
It's a mystery.
If you're looking for more murders to solve, read Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Stevie Bell is an amateur sleuth and true crime fanatic who is beginning at the prestigious Ellingham Academy in Vermont. As she tries to solve a cold case related to the school, mysteries keep cropping up in the present. This title is recommended for ages 14 and up.